Is there any chance this year that we don't see Lamar, Burrow, or Mahomes in the playoffs? I feel like there's a real chance that we could go without at least 2 of 3 of them.
Yeah.
Definitely not Burrow.
Burrow, I feel
Lamar
like that team's a lost
might not
cause.
make it.
Lamar, I mean, however long he's out, and the rest of the team.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as I'm concerned, the Ravens aren't playing any games right now. The Ravens, as we know them, aren't playing.
Yeah.
They are not in the NFL. They don't exist.
The Ravens practice squad.
This is like the Ralvins or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the podcast, Field Goals and Forecast, presented by Afterthought Sports, now on WSVU 88.3 FM, The Buzz. I'm Ryan Adio, alongside my good co-host, James Derrick. And the week 5 of the NFL is over. No undefeated teams remain.
Yep.
But, of course, one of those to fall was the Buffalo Bills, which, of course, we have to get into here. But, honestly, kind of a unexpected good week of football. A lot of teams on byes now, first week of byes, so there was a lot less games than I anticipated, but a lot of them were really good, I thought. Obviously, we'll get into it, but were there any games that stood out to you this week? I mean, besides the Bills?
No, but
Okay.
I had Jonathan Taylor on my fantasy team, so he absolutely cooked up for me very nicely.
Yeah, really fun one there. I'll start with the Bills. Obviously,
That game itself sucked. I'm sorry. The Bills, though. Yeah.
They fall to 1. I don't. Where am I going with this? They fall to 4-1.
4-1. Well,
4-1.
That's what the 1 is coming from.
I was doing it the other way around. I knew they had 1 loss, but I couldn't figure out how to do it in record.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not. It's raining out.
It's a really weird day here.
Yeah,
at Afterthought Sports.
whatever.
Okay.
Anyway, for the first time since 2014, so 11 years ago, there are no undefeated teams in the NFL after 5 weeks, and just the 4th season in the Super Bowl era that there are 0 undefeated teams going into Week 6. So unprecedented waters here.
Yeah, usually there's just one team that just stays undefeated for just way deep into the season.
Yeah,
there's no team like that this year. It was the Chiefs last year.
It was the Chiefs last year, and they really didn't. They went to the Super Bowl, but I don't think that they were an undefeated caliber team.
No.
And then it was the Steelers that one year, and then the Cardinals were undefeated for a while that one random year.
Yeah. Was that
21?
Wasn't the year that they had the Hail Mary against?
I think
us?
it was.
Was it that year?
I think it was that year, 2021.
Those are weird times. I watched that game staying at my friend's house because my sister had COVID and my mom still wanted me to be able to go to school. So I stayed at my friend's house.
Man, what a story! Honestly.
I know, it's just that was a weird time. So not only that week was I not even at my own house, I had to watch D-Hop do that to my Bills. But
that is actually pretty brutal.
Anyways.
But of course, you had to watch them lose this weekend too.
Yeah.
At least you weren't at the game like someone else.
I can't think of a worse game to go to. First half was so bad. Ryan, you want to just reflect on that?
It was 6-3 at the end of the first half, and the first quarter felt like actually an eternity. My roommate, who I brought to the game, actually fell asleep at the game because it was so boring. There were a ton of fumbles. I think 3 in the first half.
Yeah.
And then obviously that 6-3 score, so no touchdowns. Mm-hmm. Just a terrible first half. Terrible game overall, but a really terrible first half. Just boring. I thought I was gonna be there till midnight, honestly, but I was only there till 1, so it's okay.
The first quarter in particular just wouldn't end at all. I was watching it. Actually, I begged you to leave this place open so I could come in and watch it on the TV. And I was like doing some work as the game went on, and I was just thinking like, it's getting late. Why is it still the first quarter? Yeah. And there's been like 5+ penalties for the Bills, and it was just. That game sucked.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
No, it was pretty bad. The whiteout was really cool. A lot of people wore white, the blinking phones, waving the towels. That was pretty cool. But it was a kind of an embarrassing loss. It was like, man, we're doing all this and we lost to the Patriots. But game's the game. I actually kind of felt it coming a bit. I said it on last episode where I just had a feeling. I just had a feeling that the Patriots were going to take this one. I don't know why, but hey, I don't know. At least I was right about that. At least I can say that. But
in terms of the game, you just felt like a lot of things went their way. I mean, if it was a game that the Patriots were going to win, that game that we watched is exactly what it looks like when the Patriots are going to win. Just seemed like a lot of things went their way. And if like a couple other things didn't, I think the Bills get it done. But like you said, you just have a feeling sometimes, and the feeling took over for sure.
And I could have never guessed that it would end this way. But the Bills, obviously, that was their first loss of the season. It was on Sunday Night Football. They lost by 3 points to the Patriots, who scored a field goal with 20 seconds left? Something like that.
Yeah.
Stephon Diggs got his revenge. He was great. 10 receptions, 146 yards, and 14.8 yards a catch.
I mean, in my opinion, they'd be dumb not to at least, like, why should this go to waste for just one game, a revenge game against the Bills? This is something that needs to continue for the entire season. That looked like he was open on a lot of routes, and he helped out Drake May big time because not everyone else was. And having 10 plus receptions, being that safety valve kind of for a young quarterback is huge. And hey, like we said, don't start Hunter Henry.
Yeah, Hunter Henry was not there in this game. At least I can say that.
Stephon Diggs played every role imaginable when it came to wide receivers. So, I hope this doesn't just disappear next week. I mean, for his sake, even. But I think they should stick to that or something.
And the running game wasn't even that good. Drake May, 22 of 30, 273 yards, 3 rushes for 12 yards. Travion Henderson led the team with 6 carries for 24 yards. Just, I don't know. It wasn't even like that good of a game from them. Like, they didn't put up crazy numbers. They just played good defense. They did what they had to do, and they made the Bills beat themselves. And the Bills beat themselves. I mean, if you're playing a team that tends to beat you, you have to make them beat themselves. 11 penalties will do it. Season high. 2 fumbles lost, an interception, including one on the opening drive. It was an end around, I think, to Dawson Knox, and he just dropped it. And that was the first time this season the Bills had not scored on an opening drive. So
really,
yes,
they do mention that like every time.
First time this season the Bills had not scored on an opening drive, and the first time this season the Bills did not put up 30 points. But the Bills, let me read this out.
Yeah,
they had less penalty yards, 90 to 93, less punts, 2 to 4, less sacks allowed. The Bills only got sacked once. Drake May went down 4 times.
Yeah,
more total plays, 61 to 56, better third down efficiency, more first downs, more rushing yards and total yards, and only 22 less passing yards with more time of possession, and we lost the game.
This is where it'd be useful to have like a whole database of things, and you could just filter by who's won games where this, and this have happened. It's crazy that we even lost this game just looking at all that, on the page there, but I think it's obviously way more clear. You kind of beat yourself if you're going to win in all those categories. And I mean, hey, we play down to our competition sometimes. But is this even playing down? I mean, did the Patriots play well in your opinion at all? I know you just mentioned they had their fumbles in this, but did they have anything good that kind of stood out to you?
They played conservatively, and they made us play the game they wanted us to play. They made us kind of not go to the rushing game. James Cook was held pretty intact.
That too. I was thinking, where's James?
They pushed the passing game, and their DBs were great. Our receivers could not get open at all down the field. There were times where I would turn and I'd be talking to Mike, who was next to me, and I'd be like, "Man, we're not getting any separation. This is terrible. I've never seen our receivers not get blanketed like this." I mean, Dalton Kincaid was the only thing I can pull out of this and be he was unbelievable. I think he had 10 receptions. Is that right? 8 or 10 receptions?
I actually don't know.
100 plus yards. I'm pretty sure.
You talk about it.
Somewhere in there.
He did not have 10 receptions, but he had over 100 yards, 6 receptions for 108 yards.
Close. I knew there was a 10 in there somewhere, but yes. Anyway, he was great, but I really can't say the same for anyone else. Coleman had the touchdown, and then he was kind of unproductive otherwise. Had the fumble. I don't know. Maybe it's the offensive coordinator.
I'm not hung up on this game personally. I think I think ultimately this is just something that they'll learn from, and hopefully just take that page just out of the book. You know, whatever they tried to do not yesterday, whatever they tried to do on Sunday, take it out, stop it, get some help. You know, that's what I'm taking from it. And you know, you had to lose game 1 at some point. Yeah, this was it.
I mean, this isn't really even too surprising. I mean, if we were going to lose a game, I would be okay with it to a division opponent because, you know, it is a division opponent. They're always going to have your number. It doesn't matter if it's the Jets or the Dolphins. Well, the Dolphins, maybe not, but it doesn't matter if it's the Jets or the Patriots. They're always going to have your number, and I'm okay with it. I kind of expected it a bit. I just wish I wasn't there to see it, but it was a fun game regardless. I can't really complain. Obviously, I would love to go to next week's game as well. Mercedes-Benz Stadium, Atlanta Falcons next week. I think if they would have beat the Patriots, the Falcons would have had a better chance. I think they have no chance at this point. The Bills are going to come into this one hungry for a win, looking to prove everybody wrong, but they no longer have the best defense in the league. That belongs to the Atlanta Falcons. So
really?
Yeah, tough task. Number 1 in defensive rank is the Atlanta Falcons, and just behind them is the Buffalo Bills. So maybe a defensive game, but I don't know. We'll see.
I feel like that's just never how it goes. But I agree. Hungry. Yeah, we have to be honest. The Bills, I say when I say we. But
and the Bills' stats are a bit inflated because of that one Jets game, but nonetheless, I mean, the defense doesn't look second overall caliber, but they're still good. And I think if we can, we'll see about the rushing game. I mean, I'll kind of get into that more later. Falcons defense is, I want to say, first in rushing yards allowed. Like, they allow the least. So,
really?
Yeah, somewhere along those lines. And then the passing game, it's up there. They're like top 5, I'm pretty sure. So, which is surprising. I mean, they did have the bye week, so
yeah. So I if you account for the bye week, I feel like there's no way they're like way up there necessarily. Right. But no, they're not a force to be, you know, messed with, you know, by any means. So
right. I mean, they're coming off a bye. Bills are coming off a loss. I don't know. It's anyone's game, I think. It's going to be closer than I think.
I unfortunately think it'll be closer than it should be.
Falcons fight sometimes when they're not playing the Panthers, so yeah.
Well, you got 2 teams that play to their competition, Falcons and Bills.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely. So, but let's move on to the field goals of the week. No, we're not talking about kicks. We're talking about the good, the no good, and the not even close. I mean, in other words, what went well this week and what just didn't. And start off with what went good. 2 0-4 teams get their first win of the season. The Titans and the Saints. I mean, yeah, it doesn't mean anything for the season, but
season's still gone.
Yeah, but Cam Ward continues to struggle a bit for the last few games. He went 21 of 39, 265 yards and an interception, which was fumbled and scored. I don't know if you saw that. That was pretty cool. Tony Pollard had 14 carries, 67 yards and a touchdown, and Calvin Ridley had 5 receptions for 131 yards. Probably his best game of the season. I don't know that. I can't prove that right now, but I think that is his best game of the season.
It's a win.
It's a win. So, it's a win.
It's gonna have to be.
The Cardinals, they maybe killed themselves, but we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, we will.
The Saints, they rattled Jackson Dart like crazy. I mean, the stats won't really show it, but if you go and watch that game, he had 2 interceptions in this game to 2 touchdowns. He had 202 yards. He's about 50% completion. But they only sacked him once, but they had pressure on almost every single snap. Like, he was on the ground every single snap. Like,
that's how you're gonna want to do it. Playing a rookie quarterback, the pressure really is what's gonna win. So I mean, and even forcing the 2 interceptions that he threw, you know, not saying he was seeing ghosts per se. However, you throw the ball 40 times, and you barely get to 200 yards. Yeah. You do throw 2 interceptions. It sounds like they had the formula right for Jackson Dart.
And I gotta say, happy Shaheed week, because it was a Shaheed week.
It was.
Rashid Shaheed having these random games where he just puts up like 20 to 30 fantasy points, and he does it every year.
Yep.
And he just has 1 or 2 or 3 of those games, and this was one of them. So happy Shaheed week. He had 4 receptions, 114 yards, a touchdown. Rattler didn't look that bad. 21-31, 225 yards, a touchdown. Now, I feel like if you're the Saints, you have a bit of a dilemma. Do you stick with Spencer Rattler, like, next year? I mean, obviously it's very soon, but he doesn't look that bad. Is he really, like, your franchise guy?
No, he's not your franchise guy. I mean, I feel like I'm all for giving people the benefit of the doubt. However, any like rumblings of a true rebuild in New Orleans come when they draft a quarterback that with a top 5 pick or something like that. And that's just kind of how any NFL franchise rebuilds as a team. Yeah, so
I agree with that. I mean,
I feel like it hasn't started until they draft the quarterback. You know what I mean? Like now you can officially say the Titans are rebuilding. They drafted Cam Ward. They're on their way.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone's calling the Saints on their way.
No, they are very far back. They have the worst cap room, one of the worst cap room in the NFL.
Goodness, I forgot about all that too.
Derek Carr and
oh my goodness,
that team is going to take a few years to come back. But for the Falcons, it's great, so can't really complain. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, though, first of all, I want to say I'm not a Jaguars fan, but I was this week. Go Jags, Duval. Because under first-year head coach Liam Cohen, they are 4-1, and they beat the Kansas City Chiefs, the reigning AFC champions. They beat them 31-28. Chiefs fall to 2-3. Gosh, I couldn't be happier. Yeah.
I mean, come on, it's good for everybody when the Chiefs lose their 3rd game in Week 5. I mean, come on, I think that's great for everybody. I mean, we're all sick of watching the Kansas City Chiefs play playoff football. They'll probably still be playing playoff football this year. However, with every loss, you get a little bit more excited. Just a little, like maybe.
I think the entire United States was rooting for Jacksonville last night. I'll tell you what.
No, for sure.
Trevor Lawrence, man, fire me up. 18 of 25, 221 yards, a touchdown, an interception, which probably should have been pass interference, but we won't get into that. 10 carries, 54 yards, 2 rushing touchdowns, led the team in rushes, and he had that game-winning touchdown, which started on the ground. He got back up. I mean, this is what we saw out of him at Clemson. This is the first time I've been like, all right, this is what they drafted Trevor Lawrence for.
Yeah, and like he's just performing finally, and like in a big game too. Yeah. I'm fine. He's performed well in the past, even in big games, but you haven't seen it. I feel like recently, and when you don't see it on a nationally televised game, I feel like that kind of rumbles a little bit more with the media and all that, and it's like, oh, he's not that good. Oh, he's But there you go. You see it on national television. You watch him take down a top, still probably one of the top teams in the AFC.
I mean, right now, probably, yeah.
Yeah. And now he's got everyone, I think, believing again or on their way to believing in this team and in him.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, they're 4-1. They really couldn't be off to a better start. And in a very weak AFC, it's a great starting point for them. Honestly, AFC South might be a tighter, tougher division than we thought it was going to be. Yeah. But you kind of mentioned this earlier, so I'm going to bring it back. Is there any chance this year that we don't see Lamar, Burrow, or Mahomes in the playoffs? I feel like there's a real chance that we could go without at least 2 of 3 of them.
Yeah.
Definitely not Burrow.
Burrow, I feel Lamar like that team's a lost
might
cause.
Not make it.
Lamar, I mean, however long he's out, and the rest of the team.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as I'm concerned, the Ravens aren't playing any games right now. The Ravens, as we know them, aren't playing. Yeah. They are not in the NFL. They don't exist.
The Ravens practice squad.
This is like the Ralvins or something. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like
this is the UFL Ravens. Yeah.
This is the G League affiliate. They're just playing up. No, but there's a chance. And it's weird to say that I'm excited about it, considering the circumstances where 2 of the quarterbacks are injured. I shouldn't be excited about that. But, you know what that means for my Bills. So, of course, if they're gone, I would love, it looks upon the Bills favorably if they don't play. Yeah. So I'm going to hope that 2 at least of the 3
I think
don't
2
make it.
Of the 3 at least. And we'll get more into that division later on. But I want to keep talking about the Jaguars. We're talking about the good a little bit here. Yeah. I guess, well, not really the Jaguars. I guess it's still the Chiefs here.
Yeah,
but,
no, Mahomes played well.
Yeah, I 11-0 in one-score games coming into 2020, in just 2024, coming into this year. They were 11-0 in one-score games. They're now 0-3 this year, the Chiefs. I said that in the worst way possible, so I apologize.
Yeah, it's fine. It was
the Chiefs were 11-0 in one-score games last year. They're 3-0 this year.
0-3.
0-3 this year. God, man,
it's just a bad day. Honestly, if most of this happened earlier on in the episode, we'd just be like, let's just restart.
Yeah,
whatever.
That's my bad. I'm not taking it out later, so
it's fine.
You just get to see everything. But they were 62-4 entering the game while leading by 14 points at half with Mahomes at QB. Yeah,
which is crazy, and it's weird because you look at the box score. Like, say you didn't watch the game, you'd be like, wow, Mahomes did all he could, but they lost.
Yeah.
I mean, he still had a phenomenal game for over 300 yards. But, again, that Jaguars defense kind of, fights them a little bit at the goal line. They have the one play, Devin Lloyd. I mean, come on, man. It was a crazy play, pick 6. I got really concerned he was, totally going to fumble out the back of the end zone at the end of that play. Because he gets to, the 5-yard line, and Tyquan Thornton is,
DK Metcalf
hawking him down. Baker, I thought for sure he was just gonna punch that thing out or something, but no. Against all odds, the Jaguars got it done. I can't believe it.
I'm happy for him. Like you said, Mahomes was great. He had that one interception that was pretty bad, but he led the team in rushes and he had 318 yards.
And I told you to sit him last week, so I just don't know what I'm talking about. So.
The Jaguars' defense is good. I mean, they won the game, and what else can you say? But moving on to some more good. Dillon Gabriel, rookie QB out of Oregon, plays his first game in the NFL despite losing. I thought he played pretty well. That one in London, right?
Yeah, it was in London, yep.
21-17 loss to the Vikings. He was 19 of 33, 190 yards, 2 touchdowns. I think he earned himself another start. He played well in the system. The Browns' offensive line is bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, very bad.
It didn't allow him to throw the ball at all, down the field.
Yeah.
Everything seemed pretty quick, and I think in that sense, fit in the system well. He didn't turn the ball over, which was good. But that O-line does not help him out when it comes to actually pushing the ball downfield.
And 3 of 15 on third down in this game, so not efficient. But maybe that comes down to play calling. Maybe that's a coaching thing. But I want to talk more about this Browns draft class, which I think is extraordinary so far through 5 weeks. Mason Graham is the top defensive tackle in his class so far. Carson Schlesinger is linebacker 1 so far in the class. Quinshon Judkins is RB1 in the class. Harold Fannin is tight end 2. Dillon Gabriel obviously played a great game this weekend. Dylan Sampson, running back 7, and then of course Shedeur Sanders. Haven't seen much out of him, but all in all, very, very good draft class.
Yeah. You don't usually say this about the Cleveland Browns, I will say.
And you really haven't heard much about any of these guys besides Shedeur, which is weird because he's the only one that I don't really have anything to say about.
I know. What's up with the Cleveland area sports? You guys should be boasting about this draft class a little bit more. I mean, your team isn't good. It sucks.
Mason Graham is a dog, though.
But Mason Graham's a dog. Carson Schlesinger is a dog. Okay, Quinshon Judkins, we know, is a dog.
Yeah.
So come on, let's build upon this a little bit. Let's start a narrative. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Best draft class in a while, especially for the Browns.
You know what? And that's good to hear if you're a Browns fan because it's been a long, rough journey.
It's probably been so long since they've reflected on a draft class after 5 weeks and have been like, oh my gosh, so many good players. I don't know. Good for you guys.
Yeah. Obviously, Vikings defense is also pretty legit. So Gabriel was going up against a purple wall, so to speak. Mm-hmm. But The Vikings only won on a last-minute touchdown with 25 seconds left to win the game. Jordan Addison saved my fantasy team.
Yeah,
I had him
did like nothing
in flex
that whole game.
He got benched in the first quarter, which was a coach's decision. I don't know why. I couldn't tell you why. I think someone said something with like, oh, he was exploring London, but that's not fact. I don't know that. But, of course, he had 2.5 points entering the fourth quarter. He has 4 catches in the final drive and a touchdown, puts up 15 points. Bang, I win.
What do you mean? Great week from Jordan Addison. Yeah. What are you talking about?
If I was asleep for that game, I'd be like, oh, nice, cool.
Good job, Jordan.
Thanks, Jordan. But, yeah, I mean, a good game from the Browns. They have the number one defense. I shouldn't say number one defense in the league, but they have a very, very strong defense in the league for a reason. I mean, the rookies are great. Their team is young, great. Not much more to say.
Yeah.
But I have to get into the no good. We can't just keep talking about the good. Couple 0-4 teams got their first win this season, this week.
Yeah, this week.
And, of course, one of them remains 0-5, and is the New York Jets, which is surprising to me. I thought they would have got a win by now, at least.
They were definitely the best 0-win team through, at least for this past week.
Yeah.
I don't know about the week before that, but
I think the Jets could beat...
It's going to come sometime.
The Jets could beat the Titans, and the Jets could probably beat the Saints.
Man, I wouldn't even be surprised if the Jets just beat the Broncos this upcoming weekend. I mean, I would never declare such a statement. But
I was going to say that's heresy, but
it could happen. I mean, you look at the Broncos, haven't played phenomenally necessarily, and Bo Nix especially has kind of struggled here and there. So I'm not ruling it out.
Yeah, but I
would never declare that.
This might be the worst coached defense or the most fall off of a defense I've ever seen. The big thing with the Jets was, hey, at least we got Sauce Gardner. We've got these guys on defense that can really make a difference. Not anymore. This is the first team in NFL history to go 0-5 and have 0 takeaways in their first 5 games. Not a single one.
Which is weird because, like, once a week you see a turnover where it's like, wow, the defense didn't even have to play well to get that. You know, that just was given to them. They just haven't gotten one of those yet.
They haven't gotten anything. And I mean, look, they fire their defensive-minded head coach. They bring in Aaron Glenn, who's also a pretty defensive-minded coach. But it hasn't gone well for them. I just want to make that clear. I don't think they probably should have fired Robert Saleh.
We were saying this when they fired him.
Yeah.
You could probably go back to whatever episode that was last year.
Yeah.
And we were thinking, why? What and that kind of dates back to the whole Aaron Rodgers drama and all of this. And it's like, okay, well, you fired Robert Saleh. Aaron Rodgers isn't there. All right.
What are you doing?
Now you just got Aaron Glenn. He's got some killer dance moves. That's about it, honestly.
Like, I mean, and he's got a bright future. I mean, he could still be a good coach, but and I don't think the Jets are that bad. I really don't think the Jets are that bad, but I can't. I mean, they're 0-5. They clearly are.
They're putting up historically bad stats.
Yeah. And it's not the offense. For once, it is not the offense. Justin Fields, Garrett Wilson, great duo. Perfect pairing. Both went to Ohio State. They knew what they were doing there. Breece Hall, he's good. Mason Taylor, he's coming around. The O-line's decent. The defense sucks. The defense sucks now. And it's tough. It's so tough to say.
Yeah, and they usually got a good defense. They've always had the defensive-minded head coach at least, and they continue that as you mentioned. Yeah. But again, I guess it's just Saleh, I think it's just because they're the Jets. And the Jets cursed. Don't get anything good.
They're just cursed eternally.
They're just the Jets.
It is a weak AFC. Speaking of that, the AFC West, that is so up in the air. So many fluctuating teams. Yeah. I can't really say who's going to win that one.
I can't keep track of it.
At first I was like, okay, yeah, it's got to be the Chargers. Then they lost 2 in a row. And now I'm like, okay, well, sure, it'll be the Broncos. They just beat the Eagles, but then the Chiefs are always going to be there.
The Broncos have still been inconsistent.
The Raiders are in that division.
They exist.
They are in that division.
The Raiders exist.
Yeah, the Chiefs obviously they lost to Jaguars. Chargers, they take a loss against the Commanders at home. Marianne Hampton gets injured. Herbert was 22 of 29. a touchdown, interception, 160 yards. Keenan Allen, he's playing extremely well, extremely good football. 5 receptions, 58 yards. Broncos beat the undefeated Eagles, and the Raiders lose 40-6 to the Colts. But the AFC West is up in the air. It's anyone's game.
No, it is, which is, I mean, I guess we kind of thought it would be. Right?
Yeah, it's anyone's game, but not really the Raiders. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, it's anyone's game but the Raiders and Chiefs, Chargers, Broncos. Someone decide what order to put those teams in and tell us what to do.
I guess that's kind of our job, isn't it?
But yeah, but
what do you think?
It's really difficult right now. I don't know.
I'm
you
thinking,
want me to be honest, like right now?
Yeah.
I mean, Chargers and Broncos, if one of them
from week 5
had, if one of the Chargers or Broncos had 4 wins at this time in week 5, I would say one of them over the Chiefs. But I think regardless of their record, the Chiefs are still the team to beat in that division. Even if the Chiefs suck this year, they'll be the team to beat in that division next year too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just the aura that they have.
Yeah.
But after that, I'm still going to go Chargers. I'm placing some more faith in the Chargers than the Broncos right now. The Broncos have played some pretty bad games. You know, you look at I forgot if they won or lost against Tennessee week 1. Was that a loss?
They did win.
Or was that a win?
They did win that one.
So that's a game they win, but they played awful against Tennessee. They did not deserve to win that game whatsoever. Actually, Tennessee first victory this week.
They barely lost to the Colts, which is a good team.
That they are a good team, so I guess you kind of have.
And there was another loss in there.
I think we ask ourselves this question like once a week. We're trying to just decide.
They lost to the Chargers.
Oh, it was to the Chargers?
Yes.
Well, I mean, there you go then.
Mm-hmm.
Chiefs, Chargers, Broncos in that order.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
I'm going to say Chargers, Broncos, Chiefs.
Really?
Or Broncos, Chargers. Broncos, Chiefs, Chargers.
You smiled at me like you said something insane right after you did that first.
It feels so weird putting the Chiefs at 3. I think all 3 are going to end up in the playoffs, so it really doesn't matter.
There's a good possibility.
Yeah, I think one of them is going to be the 5 seed. So take your pick, and it'll probably be the Chiefs. So, speaking of another West division, the NFC West, Rams thought they were the powerhouse in the NFC. They're not, apparently.
This is just a whole nother thing.
I don't know. They lost to Mac Jones and the 49ers, which, let me say, and I want to make this clear, Mac Jones playing at a very high level, like extremely high level, to the point where I'm like, is this really Mac Jones? 33 of 49, 342 yards, 2 touchdowns, was injured and got back up, Stafford style, ended the game, got a win. What does this mean for Brock Purdy?
I don't think it means much of anything. I think what it means is someone else is, another team is looking for a Mac Jones going, come on, Mac, come over here.
The Bengals
we need a quarterback.
2 weeks too late.
Yeah, the Bengals, they probably wanted to get their hands on Mac Jones after watching that game.
Yeah.
But I think he'll probably have a chance at a career revival somewhere else.
I hope so.
I guess you got to play a couple games for the 49ers, and that's all it takes, and then everyone wants you again. But.
I mean, they've had some career revivals. I'm just saying. I mean, Sam Darnold was there. There was another QB that was there. I'm trying to. Oh, wasn't Baker was there, wasn't he? No. I might have made
not
that
Baker.
up.
No.
Shoot.
There was
another one. I don't know. Kyle Shanahan, great head coach. What else can you say? But Mac Jones is playing extremely well in the 49ers system that Brock Purdy also plays extremely well in. And a similar system that Jimmy Garoppolo played really well in. And if I recall, maybe a similar system that Nick Mullins even played well in.
Oh.
Now, I can't put my finger on it.
I can't either. What?
But something's odd here.
Could it be? Are you Are you insinuating Brock Purdy's a system quarterback?
I'm just saying he plays really well in the 49ers system, like most other quarterbacks that are similar to him.
Like almost every other quarterback to touch a football in a 49ers uniform.
Who was the backup ahead of Purdy when, like, his rookie year, 2022? Do you remember?
That wasn't like Jimmy G or anybody at that
that's
point, right?
That's what I was thinking, but I don't think it was. Because it was Trey Lance.
Yeah.
And then maybe Jimmy G. And then it was him. I cannot remember.
I don't remember.
That season feels like a fever dream. It just did not happen. Now, we got to get into the not even close. And I want to preface by saying there wasn't actually that much that was that bad this week. Which is a good thing. We have to talk about the Baltimore Ravens. Because that team is not even close.
Yeah.
To being good at all. That's all I can say. They've completely collapsed. The season looks to be over. The Texans win 44-10. Injuries have just piled up in the worst time, in the worst way. They fall to 1-4. Cooper Rush is terrible. Derrick Henry can't get anything going.
You know,
Zay Flowers, he's okay. 5 receptions, 72 yards. C.J. Stroud killed him. Absolutely killed him.
We've had nothing good to say, bless you, about the Texans so far this season. And look at what they did to the Ravens.
Yeah.
Even Nick Chubb.
You allowed C.J. Stroud to drop a 250 bomb on you.
Dude, where's Woody Marks? Sorry. Hold on. I told you guys to start him last week. We don't have to go into it. But the Ravens, dude. We mentioned this during the No Good segment. These are not the Baltimore Ravens. Mm-hmm. The Baltimore Ravens, as we know them, don't exist. And this shell of a team that we are now watching, I mean, they're trying to piece it together, but I don't think they're going to beat anybody as they stand right now without Lamar, without the key pieces on their defense. They're just not even close.
Not even close.
This is a really good name for this section.
Yeah.
They're just not even close.
Not even close to anything good. If I was in Baltimore, I'd be really sad right now.
Like, they do actually have the players. It's not like
they
don't have the players.
Thing. That's the crazy thing, right? This is a stacked team. They're just all on the IR. They're just all in the nearby Baltimore hospital. And I feel bad, man. Like, I don't even know. They were my Super Bowl favorites for this year. I mean, if everything goes right, they would have to be perfect the rest of the year.
Yeah.
Which, if any team could do it, it would be them. Lamar could pull a comeback, end up maybe a wild card team, be scary in the playoffs, similar to what we saw out of the Bengals last year.
Yes.
But it's looking bleaker and bleaker every single week.
Yeah.
Every single day.
Still just awaiting news. Lamar Jackson's back. But until then, I mean, this is...
And they did just trade Odafe Awe to the Chargers, which is an interesting trade, but I don't know much about it, so I can't really say. That's happening as we're recording this, but I don't know. That's cool. Good for the Chargers. It's a good player. First-round pick.
Yeah.
And our final piece of not even close, and this is the second time in a week we've had this, which is crazy.
Wow.
Emari Demercado fumbles at the goal line, and it just spirals. A Cardinals collapse. They were up 21-3, in the second quarter, 21-6 in the fourth quarter. Touchback, and then they intercepted the ball and dropped it at the goal line, and Tyler Lockett fell on it and scored a touchdown. It's probably the worst way to lose, and the Cardinals are back to their midseason form.
Yeah, Cardinals could write a book, How to Lose a Football Game. And you do everything they did, you'll lose. It doesn't matter who you're playing. Could be one of the worst teams in the league. Like they were playing the Titans. And you're going to lose a game if you do all that. Yeah. I mean, but we've seen that stuff happen. I mean, just last week, Adonai Mitchell, the whole fumble out of the end zone thing. I still don't get it. Like I don't care. Like these the two guys that were about to score, Mitchell and Demercado. Like both guys that just don't score the football. You know, like just hold on to the damn thing. That's what I'm thinking. But, obviously he gets screamed at on the sideline, DeMercado, and coach has since apologized.
Fair enough, though.
I don't think he's earned himself any extra snaps this week.
No, and he had 2 last week. So if I had a nickel for every time an up-and-coming player that I talked highly about went on a 70-yard breakaway and fumbled the ball out of the back of the end zone, I'd have 2 nickels.
You'd have like 10 cents, dude.
Which, I mean, to quote, it's not a lot of money, but it's weird that it happened twice in 2 weeks. I don't know. I got to stop. It's only a matter of time until it happens again. But that was our field goals of the week. Let's get into our extra point, in which I have best and worst offseason moves so far through week 5. James, you want to start this one? Start with the best.
I'll get it started. I was just thinking before the show when I wrote this down. Deebo Samuel, he kind of got that little 1-year prove-it deal. It was an extension he signed with the Niners, but they restructure it so that he gets $17 million guaranteed with the Commanders. $3 million in incentives. And I'm honestly, when that happened, I was like, wow, I don't care.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have the same. He's fat. That was the consensus.
But since then, we're at week 5. He's got 30 catches for 300 yards, and we're not even a third through the football season. Let's do some simple math. Do all that. Well, he could find his way to around 1,000 yards this season, which I don't think anyone gave him a chance for. Yeah. And it's an offense that needs it.
And he owns that system right now. He is in every single formation. They look for him on every single play.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is he's not just a guy playing well. He's now the guy on the team playing well. He's scored 3 total touchdowns as well. Offers some versatility. He scored a rushing touchdown as well. So, hey, Deebo Samuel, that's got to be one of the best moves from the offseason coming into this year.
But my best offseason move this offseason, so far, Bucks drafting Emeka Egbuka in the first round. Who could have seen this coming? Wide receiver 4 this year. 25 receptions, 445 yards. That's 4th in the NFL. 17.8 yards a catch and 5 touchdowns in 5 weeks for a rookie wide receiver out of Ohio State. It's nothing we haven't seen before.
Yeah, I mean, talk about instant impact, and it's worked.
Yeah.
On a team where you look at the depth chart and you're like, I don't know if he'll make an impact right away. Obviously, there's a fair amount of hype around him to begin with. People are saying, draft him as a rookie to take a chance on.
Yeah.
The chance has paid off. The injuries have happened, and now he looks like the guy for sure. You want to continue on?
Yeah, I can. I got another kind of. It's not even a player, but the Jaguars hiring Liam Cohen. That sure has worked out. That has been a great move for them. Head coach kind of just flush out the system, put in a new one. Got him from the Buccaneers. Kind of a weird thing that happened. I don't really know. I'm not going to get into it, but it was a great move. They're 4-1.
Yeah.
I can't say much more. Duval.
Yeah, and it had such a bad start too with his terrible Duval.
Yeah, and you know what their one loss was this year? Do you remember?
Oh, no, I don't.
Cincinnati Bengals.
Oh, okay. You know, I should have remembered that. And that was the game that Joe Burrow got hurt in, too.
That's correct.
Wow.
But
that's crazy.
I don't know. Just kind of a weird season. But if you're a Jaguars fan, you're loving it right now.
Yeah. Or what about, the Steelers sign Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
DK Metcalf. 3-1, top of the division. I mean, just had the bye week, could have been a 3-2 team. But regardless, still a one-loss team through 5 weeks of the football season.
Yeah.
That worked out pretty well.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. And then the last one here, Cowboys signing Javonte Williams. Chef's kiss. I mean, they took a chance on him. He was young. The Broncos just didn't want to try anymore, I guess. He's been unbelievable. 3rd in the league in rush yards, 447 for him. 79 carries, 5 touchdowns, 5.7 yards a carry.
Yeah, it just kind of makes me reflect a little bit. We saw Sean Payton hadn't had a running back carry the ball for over 100 yards for 8 games or something. How much of that is Javonte Williams' fault?
Yeah.
I would maybe argue none of it, considering he goes to the Cowboys and immediately is the kind of player that people were thinking he was going to be. And I mean, obviously injuries play a role too, but maybe something weird going on with the run game over in Denver.
Know.
But regardless,
nothing I got to worry about.
Good move by the Cowboys to sign Javonte Williams. Do you want to get started with the worst?
Yeah. The Giants signing Russell Wilson was just a mistake. It was just a mistake. A 1-year, $10.5 million contract, guaranteed money there, up to $20 million. Who knows how much he got for 3 games. 3 games of the season that he went 0-3. I don't know. I think it's a dumb move. I don't really care that he's mentoring Jackson Dart. They could have just got Jameis and said, okay.
Yeah, or like just Jameis. Yeah, no,
Jameis. They just could have got Jameis and said, okay, yeah, we're done.
Should have stayed with Jameis.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I can't disagree with that whatsoever. I think you also have to touch on the fact that the Texans, they ditched any and all offensive linemen.
And the Bengals, but we won't mention that.
The Bengals as well, but they're kind of, they're in their own situation right now anyways. They trade Laramie Tunsil, they trade Kenyon Green, they release, I think it was Shaq Mason, probably released him for a reason. But regardless, no O-line, no good team. And as we mentioned before playing the Ravens this past week, they've been very questionable.
Yeah.
They avoid some criticism this week with a win over the Ravens.
Yeah, when you play the worst rush in defense in the league, you're not really going to get rushed, but whatever.
Exactly. So, you avoid some criticism, but we'll get back to you next week when you play terribly, okay?
I actually don't know who they play next week, but I guess I don't. Oh, no, they're on bye.
Oh, you get 2 weeks in a row.
They get away with it. Yeah, Nico Collins is on my bench this week. That's why I know. But... Wow. Anyway, back to the offseason moves.
Yeah, sorry.
The Bears, they draft Colston Loveland at 10th overall over Tyler Warren, who's the number 1 tight end in the league right now. Loveland has 3 receptions for 43 yards.
That's it.
That's all I can say about him. I don't understand. I don't know why. I think there's got to be something else going on there. How can you look at Tyler Warren and say, nah, we're going to go with the guy from Michigan? I just don't see it.
Especially because Tyler Warren is a man balling right now.
Yeah.
About climbing his way up the tight end ranks. And Colston Loveland.
He's getting outplayed by Cole Kmet, who's not bad, by the way.
No, not bad.
I just didn't make sense for me. And then the final bit of just bad moves. Ravens signed Jair Alexander. He bad. He no good.
He's not good.
Yeah.
Also, nothing to say. Just that he's bad.
He just no good.
Great career though.
Yeah, he was great in Green Bay, but change of scenery was not good for him.
No.
Anyway, let's get into our fantasy starts and sits. I am 15-10 on starts entering this week. 13-11 in sits. What's your record there, James?
I'm 14-11 for both.
It's not too bad.
There was a couple where I really wasn't sure whether to count or not. I gave myself the benefit of the doubt. However, next time, I'm not going to give myself the benefit of the doubt. I try to keep it even when it comes to those things.
So I'm really bad at math, so I'm probably also 14-11 in sits because that would only make sense. But
that would only make sense.
Not the point. Let's start with the starts. I'm going to start Matthew Stafford. I feel like it's a no-brainer. I don't really need to tell you that. Baltimore's defense is pretty bad, and they're hungry. And if C.J. Stroud can do it, you can do it too. That's what I think.
Yeah. No, I love that, actually. I'm going to go 2 weeks in a row. Bryce Young. Bang. Let's see if we can.
Let's go.
Hey, he's playing the Cowboys. I told you to start him last week, actually. He only had like 12 points. But he still played well, and they won. Rico Dowdle had like 200 rushing yards, which...
203 rushing yards.
Weird we actually haven't touched on that. Regardless, that happened.
I just don't want to talk about it.
No, yeah. I mean, it's probably not going to happen again. So,
yeah. I should have told you to start him, but how could I have known? How could I have known Rico Dowdle was going to put up a 200 bomb?
Yeah. Anyways, they're playing the Cowboys, so we're going to be telling you to start people playing the Cowboys all year.
Yeah. It's kind of just how it goes. But I'm going to take a risk here. I'm going start A.J. Brown against the New York Giants. I know it's risky, and I know he's frustrated. But the Giants are the 3rd worst against the wide receiver. It's a division opponent. They're on Thursday night, and they're going to need it. Saquon's a little banged up. They're going to have to rely on the passing game.
Yeah, I agree. I am going to have to go with Stephon Diggs as a guy you have to start. They're playing New Orleans. They're 10th in limiting receivers to fantasy points. They're 10th in limiting fantasy points to wide receivers. It's a bad day here, guys. But I'm encouraged from last week. I think I saw he was like 6 in points per route run, which is something you didn't expect to see from him at all. But all of a sudden, just this week, all of a sudden it happens. So maybe it's just going to continue to happen. So jump on that train.
Yeah, we got dressed in polos and we just forgot how to speak.
I know.
We look like we're smarter, but we're actually a lot dumber this week. There's just something about it. But let's get to running back. I'm going to take another risk here. Start Hassan Haskins, the running back for the Chargers. They need him this week, or I guess anyone else that they pick up. I don't. If they end up starting someone else, I'm going to take that over him. But you know what I mean. I saw what happened with Rico Dowdle. I'm not letting it pass me again. They're playing Miami, who's the 5th worst against the rush. He could put up at least 12, 15, I think. He'll have like a random touchdown.
You want another guy that could score 12 to 15? I got it. Michael Carter. Okay. He actually has a terrible matchup against the Colts. They're really good against the run so far, but I don't think Amari DiMarcado earned himself any more snaps. And Michael Carter had 5 receptions last week. That'll play in PPR, absolutely. So start him.
Yeah, and I mean, Trey Benson's not coming back, and James Conner sure ain't coming back. So
none of those guys are playing.
Someone's got to run the ball. Tight end, give me Juwan Johnson. Do not lose faith in him yet. I know he put up some bad weeks, but he's playing New England. New England just gave up so much to Kincaid. They are the 5th worst team against the tight end this year.
Okay.
Juwan Johnson, they're going to need him in this one.
Yeah, I would argue Noah Fant would also be needed this week against Green Bay. He's on waivers. He's actually the second most points projected among Bengals tight ends. Gesicki's also up there. So, but I'm gonna take Fant specifically. I think with Flacco, he's just gonna ball out. So what the hell?
Anything could happen.
He's deep on waivers. Scroll.
You got to scroll for a while
through the tight end. Hit tight end and then scroll. Oof.
Just search FANT. Yeah.
You'll be okay. Start Noah Fant. You'll be fine.
And I'm going with my flex here. I'm going with the QB. Give me Dillon Gabriel against the Pittsburgh defense. Pittsburgh gives up the 4th most points to QB. Their defense is just not good. If your guy's on a bye, I'm trying to think what QB would even be on a bye. For some reason, you have CJ Stroud, I guess.
Someone else is on a bye that I don't know.
I don't really remember. But if your QB's on a bye or injured or you have Lamar Jackson, go get Dillon Gabriel. He could be decent this week, I think.
Yeah, my flex, same thought process you had for wanting to start A.J. Brown. However, I just don't have any faith in him. So I'm going to say Devontae Smith. He had 10 targets. Right. Yeah, I know, right? And they finally looked like they could throw the ball last week. So I don't know. Then again, Saquon only ran the ball 6 times. So I don't know, but got to ride with it. Smitty, go.
Here's what I'll say. Well, let's get into our sits, first of all. But here's what I'll say about QB. I'm going to start him anyway this week, but I'm going to regret it, I'm sure. Do not start Justin Fields if you have another option against Denver. They give up the 3rd least points to QB. They're very good at defense. I don't know. Justin Fields
They're very good at defense.
It's going to be a tough matchup. It could be similar to what we saw at Buffalo.
Yeah, I'm going to say you should sit Baker Mayfield against San Fran. I think they've played everybody pretty tough, kind of some ugly games here and there, San Fran. I think Baker will probably throw a pick. You might not see him get in the end zone as many times as, a fantasy QB has to in order to score 15-plus points. They need to get in the end zone 2-3 times. I don't think he's going to, so sit him.
Yeah. I think they'll win that game, but it will be close.
Yeah. It's a game they could still win, even while I'm telling you to sit Baker, but still.
And then at wide receiver, I'm going to go on a limb here again. Sit George Pickens. He's been unbelievable the last 2 weeks, but they're playing Carolina, and J.C. Horn has been locked down. They give the 2nd least amount of points to wide receiver this year.
That's a good point. I actually do like that one.
And Ryan Flournoy has been getting some touches, which I like. I love to see.
I am going to say, and this is a risky one because he's a dog, but sit Drake London. I just think the inconsistencies of the Falcons, it doesn't always reflect on on everybody on that offense, but I think more than anyone else, Drake London kind of has the here, there, whatever weeks where you're just kind of like, what's going on? Maybe you have that against Buffalo this week.
And that running back, I got to take another risk here and say sit James Cook against Atlanta. We talked about this. Number 1 defense in the league, number 1 against the rush, and we saw it when they played. I'm blanking on the team, but 2 weeks ago they won against the Commanders, and they limited the rushing game there. Mm-hmm. We saw it against the Vikings. They limited the run. Panthers, they lost that game, but they did limit the run. Their rush defense has been pretty good this year.
Yeah, the New England rush defense has been pretty good. You saw James Cook didn't really have a great game, so I'm going to say sit Alvin Kamara. He's playing the Patriots, and he's kind of had some opportunities sniped by Kendre Miller. Mm-hmm. Miller's even been getting like some red zone carries and stuff too, so that's a little concerning. Almost like neither of them are going to work out this week, so stay away from Kamara.
And then at tight end, a Falcon now. Put Kyle Pitts on the bench this week. I mean, if he's not already there, put him on the bench. He's been good this year. But the number 2 defense against tight end, obviously the Falcons are 1, but number 2 defense against tight end, Hunter Henry got limited. I think Kyle Pitts gets limited as well.
Yeah. Speaking of limited, Brock Bowers carries a questionable designation going into this week. He's also playing the Titans, who are, formidable defensively. If Brock Bowers is playing, which I'm pretty sure he is, I just wouldn't really trust him. He also just hasn't been awesome this year. I mean, he's still been good. This is by all means a very risky sit. So if you have another tight end, I'm not saying start Noah Fant over Brock Bowers, but if you have someone that you're actually somewhat confident in, like a Dallas Goedert or something, I would say slide him in there over Brock Bowers this week.
Yeah, and then at flex, I have another running back here. Sit K9 this week. I'm just not feeling it. It's one of those weeks where I'm like, I don't know. I think he's just going to get out-touched by everyone else on the team. And he's
anybody.
And the Jaguars' defense is good. I mean, granted, they broke a little bit to Isaiah Pacheco, but not anything crazy. Mm-hmm. I think you put K9 on the bench this week.
Yeah, and this one's probably going to come back to bite me because I don't know who else he's going to throw to. But I just don't feel good about Jalen Waddle against the Chargers. He's coming off a great week. I know he's like the only guy that is going to catch the ball on that team. However, I don't have faith in the Dolphins as a whole. And Jalen Waddle has always been a streaky fantasy player for me. So I'm just going to say go ahead and sit him. It's a bad matchup. Maybe just temper expectations, move him down to the flex. Start someone else at wide receiver, if you know what I mean.
If you have anyone to back him up.
I mean, if you're in an 8-man league or something and you can bench Jalen Waddle, do it. But
yeah. But that was our fantasy starts and sits. Hopefully, we do better than last week, I guess.
I didn't do great last week.
Yeah, it's been a rough couple of weeks. I mean, you can't predict anything. It's just so difficult.
We can't break away from just above 500. We get most of our picks correct.
Yeah, but
most is 51%.
Speaking of most of our picks correct, we got to move into our forecasts for next week. We can't tell you the weather, but we can make some predictions for the next week of football. I am 19-14. James is 21-12.
Oh, pretty good.
Yeah, you're doing pretty well. But only two wins behind you, which I did not do well week 1. So yeah, it's been a comeback for me so far. But let's get into this first game. Thursday Night Football, Eagles, Giants. I'm going with the Eagles.
I'm going with the Eagles.
Yeah, I just can't say the Giants right now. It's just too risky. And then 9:30 London game, Broncos at Jets. You said Jets earlier, but you're not riding with them.
No, I'm going to go with the Broncos. Yeah. But mark my words, things can get weird at 9:30 a.m. in London, okay? The Jets could do it, all right?
Both of these teams are going to be jet-lagged, so we'll see.
Jet-lagged.
Oh, I like that. That's good. 1 p.m. Seahawks-Jags is our best game in the 1 p.m. window. Give me the Jags in this one. I'm riding with Duval all the way.
Yeah, I think they just totally let everyone down after being, after a big performance on national television. Yeah. Just, I think the Seahawks just managed to win somehow.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair.
That's it.
I get it. 4 p.m. game, 49ers versus Buccaneers, 2 one-loss teams. Is that correct?
Yes. That is correct.
2 one-loss teams, so good game. We're both riding with the Bucks. Is there any reason?
I just regardless of whether Mac Jones, I don't know. If Purdy plays, or I don't think he's going to. Right? I can't see him winning again. He will.
He might.
But whatever. We think the Bucks will win.
But Sunday Night Football would have been a better game if I looked at it at the start of the schedule. But now Lions at Chiefs. We both have the same answer here, and it's probably the best team in the league right now, the Detroit Lions. Coming into this one, Chiefs are coming off a loss, but it is at Arrowhead. Going to be a tougher one than people think, but this Lions high-powered offense is nothing to scoff at.
No, I 100% agree. Yeah. Lions.
Monday Night Football 1, first game. Bills at Falcons in Mercedes-Benz. This is my game of the week. Both of my favorite teams at the top here. But I'm going with the Bills. They're just too hungry. They need this win.
I agree. If we didn't just lose to the Patriots, I would almost say Falcons in this game. Mm-hmm. But Bills.
Yeah. And then Monday Night Football to our last game here. Bears at Commanders. You go first. I got to think.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Commanders because they did just beat up on the Chargers, who are a good team by all means. Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt looked great. I think they beat the Bears. However, the Bears are one of those teams that I think are going to get better as the season goes on. I don't know if they win it if they played this week, but say they played late in the season, I think the Bears would give them a better run for their money. I still go Commanders. I'm
going to go Bears, but probably regret it.
Okay.
Bears defense is bad, but the Commanders defense is equally bad. Their DBs are not where they need to be, just in terms of how good they are. But I just think dude, I don't know. Maybe this is Caleb Williams' week. He had a bye week last week, I think, and now they're coming off, and they really need a win soon. And I think this has to be one of them. Commanders are going from West Coast to East Coast. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. And, just had a great game against a great team. So there's always, the whole factor of they'll just shock everybody and play terribly this week.
And we agreed on almost everything else. So I may as well just write in the Bears there.
Might as well.
But anyway, we're going to get into the final thing here, the lock of the week. This is a game that I can tell you 100% is going to go one way or the other. And it's the Colts over the Cardinals. The Cardinals are pretty bad. They're pretty bad. I'm sorry. The Colts are just going to win this one. There's just nothing else.
Yeah, look at this guy believing in Daniel Jones.
Yeah,
this guy.
It's unfortunate.
I'm going to say that the Rams beat the Ravens. Fair warning, I'm not going to do this again next week with the Ravens again.
Yeah, it's just too easy to say the Ravens.
Come on. Yeah. Rams. How do the Rams not beat the Ravens? No Lamar, no defense, no problem for the Rams.
You want to put up a number on that? 45-13? I don't know how they get to 45, but
I would say 13. I'll say
44 is what the Texans scored, though.
We'll go 40-7. That's it.
I like that. That's good.
40-7.
I'll go. Dude, Puka's gonna put up 800 yards in this game, but that's a fresh separate.
We would have told you guys to start Puka, but I'm pretty sure you're gonna start him anyways.
Number one player in fantasy right now. I think you should start him. Yes, but anyway, that will do it for our show. Thanks so much for watching. We will see you all next week. Go watch some football. Bye-bye.
Peace.